Okay, so let's get onto our cons then.
Yeah.
So, what didn't you like about the episode?
Well, as I just said, I liked the animation in the latter half of the episode when the fighting was starting. In the former half of it, I thought I was watching the original series again because of the animation, because it was kind of bad.
I mean, maybe that's the point. That they would want to feel like the original.
Yeah, but even then, in the previous episodes they did look like the original, but at the same time they had uh, smooth fluid animation. Here, the animation was not only kind of rough, they also used a lot of shortcuts. Like here's a fun drinking game. Take a shot every time there was like a bird's eye view, or the characters were super far away, so you don't have to animate as much. If you just have like the characters being this far away, you don't need to really animate that much.
Yeah, I didn't notice that there were a lot of like kind of zoomed
Bird's eye
out.
views, zoom outs and bird's eye views throughout the in this episode. That's just lazy, really.
Yeah, I mean, like I've explained before, I'm not good on picking up stuff about like animation and stuff, you know. So
But I thought that was pretty obvious. If there's that many different like zoom outs and bird's eye views, then it's just not that look good to look at, and it just feels like they're not even trying. So yeah, the animation wasn't the greatest, and there's still I think this show, and I still not a huge fan of the pacing of the show either.
oh yeah, I mean, they're trying. I don't know, like
But they're forcing the relationships with their partners way too much. Like literally for this one, the whole backstory of Palmon was told in a little flashback right before she digivolved into Togemon.
wait, there was a flashback to.
When
Mm,
Mimi first when Mimi was talking with Palmon as she looked like she was about to be deleted, they had a really brief flashback saying, "Oh, we had such good times together," and I'm like, "Yeah, times that we didn't see." It just kind
I
of skipping all
like
that.
did they actually like flash back to it? Because I don't.
Yes, they did. That's how forgettable it was. You can't even
I
remember
don't
it.
even remember that.
It's that bad.
Yeah, like I totally missed that.
Like, if you can't even remember it, then that just tells you how little they're really putting that much effort into building the relationships between the partners and the Digidestined. Like, tomorrow we're going to do Healing Good, and did a great job. And spoilers, but they did a great job with the partners in Healing Good pre-cure. Compare that to this, where they're like, "Oh, we've had such good times together." What good times? Can we get that, or are we just gonna skip to the cool
Actually, you
Digivolution?
do make an interesting point because the mascots on Precure, you can kind of like compare them to the Digimon in this, and I do think that shows that they do a way better job at developing those relationships. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. It's like it's almost night and day.
Yeah.
Like I think the only one we've really gotten is Agumon, just because, and that's because he's the main character's Digimon. But everyone else so far, maybe Piomon a little, but
Yeah, if we're not calling like Tai and Agumon, I think the better one has been Sora and Bioma, but that's not like saying a whole lot. It's just the least worst ones, you know.
yeah, exactly. So, and Mimi here was again. We just, as you said, she was kind of more of a servant, a partner for much of this episode, and which is fine. But we need to actually. It'd be nice if we could actually see them. That's like growing as partners. That's why the first episode of the original series worked so well, because we they all had at least a little time to spend with their in training forms before they digivolved into the rookie forms in the original
Yeah.
series.
Do you think part of the problem is that we're introducing characters episode by episode versus the original, like all the main cast were already introduced in the
Yeah, it
first
was
episode?
in the original series. I know we shouldn't compare this much, but in the original series, the characterization was spread out across all of the episodes. Here, they're trying to do focus on Digimon at a time, and yet it's not really working on that well because they also really want to introduce the Digivolutions.
Yeah. I think it would be better if like these intro episodes would have just focus on the two, like this episode. Don't focus on Tai or so just focus on Mimi and Palmon. You know.
Yeah, because while some of the fights were cool in this one, the fight with like the Tuskmon wasn't necessary when you really think about it. Like we could focus more on it. Like we didn't have to cut so much to Greymon versus the Tuskmon. We could just have focused on Palmon and Mimi more and get
Like
more actual more actual development.
like I don't even think like Palmon and Mimi had to even meet the rest of the group this episode. Just have like a self-contained episode
Yeah,
with Mimi and Palmon, and maybe they meet the group at the end.
yeah.
You know.
But they have to. I guess they just really want to bank on that nostalgia by having everyone together. And you
Uh,
remember their relation. And don't you remember the relationships back in the original series?
they were good. I mean,
I mean, we remember them, but not for the new viewers. That's the problem.
yeah, like I want to tell Bree to go to to watch the show, but I can't recommend it. And isn't that sad? As a
Yeah.
Digimon fan, I can't recommend a Digimon show.
I'm still watching it, but it's just like, guys, you need to figure out your pacing a little better and actually introduce these characters and not take so many shortcuts with like the introductions and all that.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if Jules is right. What if this is only going to be like 26 episodes? Or something like way shorter than like 50 episodes, and maybe that's why they're rushing through this all.
Maybe.
I hope not. But
Maybe they're just gonna focus on the Devilmon arc and then maybe maybe skip to the Myotismon arc. Or heck, maybe they'll just skip to the Dark Masters by episode 27.
Oh, they better not skip. Like if they skip Iosman, like how are they gonna do? You know, I'm trying to not spoil the original, but you know it's kind of hard to talk about Kari's.
Well, yeah, the Sixth Ranger. Let's say that.
Yeah, let's just say if they don't do the Myosman,
The
it makes the Six Ranger character. Though it does seem like they're doing something different with the story. At least that's what they've been hinting, but I don't know.
Well, so far it seems like they're sticking with the Devilmon arc for the most part, with Ogremon being one of the main generals, and of course we saw Devilmon in the last episode.
Well, but they are trying to go to that place to find the angels, so I do like feel like that's how the reworking stuff. So, but
Yeah.
Did there any more cons you want to talk about?
Nothing really. I just wish the pacing was a little better. Wish the animation was a little better. One more positive that I didn't bring up was that they also worked in a little bit of Mimi's grandfather a little bit more, who we never saw in the original series, as I recall.
Did we? I can't.
Yes, there was a brief scene.
No. I'm talking about the original. Did we?
Yeah, I don't think we ever saw Mimi's grandfather. Just her ditzy ass parents.
Oh yeah, we saw their parents.
Who were just forgettable ditzy weirdos.
Yeah. So that is kind of neat. Maybe they're gonna delve more into Mimi's like personal life, how she
which
grew
would
up.
be nice. Which would be nice because her parents in the original series were just kind of stupid, honestly.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. That'd be a nice direction and give her a little bit more development. Again, again, I think as characters, these guys are fine. It's just that their relationships aren't all that great because they haven't really delved into them all that much.
I mean, they are just introduction episodes. Maybe as the series progresses, we will get those backstories. At least I hope. But with the way the things are going, it doesn't look promising.
Yeah, well, we technically did get Mimi's backstory. You just don't remember it because it was so short, and it was just like
Yeah,
such a short little
I get
flashback.
that. I get that's how they're gonna treat the rest of the backstories. I'm not looking forward to that.
Mhm.
So is that all your comments?
Yeah.
Okay, it's my go ahead. So so I do kind of mention that I feel like I probably should have more cons, but I feel like I'm at the point where I don't care. I don't know, maybe given up and just accepted that this show just isn't gonna give me what I want.
Hmm.
So I haven't quite let it bother me. So like I'm just like, okay, whatever. You're gonna do that, fine. I can't do anything about it. So first thing is, are you finding the plot kind of confusing in a way? Like I feel like you're just drawing out words. Do you feel that, or is it just me?
The plot, like the overarching plot, of them trying to get to the uh Holy Land, the Holy Digimon.
I guess it's the story and things that are going on in general. Like when they were having a conversation with like Izumi, he was talking about things, and I don't know. I felt like he was just tossing words out, just toss words out.
Yeah. Yeah, like the stuff about the time travel, or not the time travel, the time delay.
Yeah, that was the thing in particular. Are you feeling that, or is it?
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little weird. Plus, with the time delay, so the Digivices can adjust for the time delay. So, uh, that would mean like if they were in the human world, they can get they would be from our perspective, they would be talking like super fast, and from the human world, they would be talking really slow, like we saw in the episode. So, how does the Digivice like translate people who are going at a much slower speed?
Ain't any Google Translate, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, magic, I guess.
I mean,
Like if you're talking slower, then you can't. It's gonna take a while to like get those words out. Like if you have like if it's not about it's that's like almost time travel when you're trying to fix the time delay in that case.
oh, could you imagine if the show introduces time travel?
It better not.
Yeah, my head is hurting just from like thinking about that. Oh my god, like, oh okay.
Well, that aside, yeah, I think I get what you mean. Like, there's way too much going on right now with like them panicking over the
Yeah,
power outages in Tokyo. Like, they only have
yeah,
72 hours or
because
all that.
because I feel like the knowledge isn't like really registering in my brain. I'm just like, okay, that's happening. Okay, that's happening. Okay, what else is happening?
And
Okay.
you missed out on that flashback, so maybe that's the problem. There's like too much crap going on all at once.
Oh, so Drill's, because he's in the chat, he made a comment that he said Izumi said that the Digivice was accounting for that time difference. How does that count? I have no clue. LOL.
Yeah, again, it's like if if you're talking from the human world, you are actually moving slower than people in the digital world, then how can you like hear what they're saying and not have to like wait several minutes before it's fully loaded?
Yeah. But like, because the Digidesks are not the only ones that can pretty much communicate between the worlds. So maybe the Digivice allows the brains to function and process things differently.
But the stuff isn't coming the I'm just saying like if you're talking and it's slower than and if it's slower in the human world then that means that the work like them saying a sentence isn't going it's going to take several min like a single sentence from from the human world is going to take several minutes to reach the digital world is
I don't know. Maybe they have a premium data plan.
sure whatever.
No, I'm trying to make
It's
sense.
just not. This wasn't a thing in the original series because they didn't really have communications between the digital world and the human world. So
I mean, I mean,
throwing this in just kind of adds a little more confusing layer to it.
I mean,
It's problematic world building.
it's a cool concept. It just needs like fine tuning. It's a cool concept. Wait, but in Digimon Adventure 02, weren't they able to like communicate between worlds with like the
Yes, because at the end of the original Digimon Adventure, the timelines had synced.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I remember that
They
now.
said they actually said that at the end of the series, the digital world and real world times had synced by the end.
Okay. Like I
So
said,
that became a non-issue afterwards.
okay. Like I said, it's been a while. So,
Hmm.
but to kind of get it back to my cons, yeah, just tossing information out, and I guess this isn't a con anymore, but it still kind of is a con because I forgot about. It. I wrote down. I wish we would have gotten a Mimi flashback. So
Yeah, we
apparently,
did. We
apparently
did.
we did. But so I think the con would be that flashback is just forgettable then if I like
Yeah.
missed it, But so one thing I wish we would have gotten an answer for is how long Mimi has been in the digital world. They kind of like hinted that she's been in the world slightly longer, but I
Yeah.
wish they would have said like how much.
Yeah.
Maybe gotten a flashback about her in the human world before she got teleported.
That'd be nice. I
The,
think
the,
we saw. Did we see her in an earlier episode in the human world? I think.
I mean, I don't remember. Maybe
I had
some.
a maybe
Maybe,
not. I think we only really saw Joe in a previous episode.
I mean, if we did, it was probably just a slight, like, little cameo kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish they like what would have been a great opener for this episode was seeing how Mimi gets teleported to the digital world, you know, and stuff. Oh, and
Hmm.
another thing I kind of want to mention, I'm kind of starting to agree with you guys about the whole narration thing. It,
Hmm.
it does feel a tad bit long.
Yep.
The other two episodes, it kind of makes sense. We did have like a long break, so kind of had to keep refreshing our mind. But now I just feel like maybe if they could cut like 5 to 10 seconds, at least.
Or maybe just like get rid of that little buffer at the very beginning of the episode where they have just like give previews of what's going to happen in the episode itself.
Yeah. So, but by the way, who is that narrator voice? Who's doing the narration? It sounds familiar.
I'll look that up.
Okay.
You have anything else to say about your cons?
So
Like I think I know it. I think I might know. It's just on the tip of my tongue.
so Mimi does not seem as spoiled as she did in the original series. I know we keep comparing it to the original, but I mean it's a reboot. You're gonna compare. I don't think there's anything wrong with comparing. It makes for
Okay.
good conversation, in my opinion. But do you feel that?
It 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 does give us a baseline. Also, that narrator was Masako Nozawa, the voice actress of Goku.
Okay. Has she voiced in any the Digimon stuff before?
Gilliman.
Who?
Gilliman.
Oh, okay. Isn't it Gilmon? I've always pronounced it Gilmon.
Wait, wait. Guilman, so Giluman. That's how I say it.
Okay.
She voiced Giluman, and yes.
Yeah. So another con, and this is a con that I hope it doesn't keep repeating itself. Like they need to kind of solve this issue. Uh, we saw very little Izumi. Like I'm tired of him just being separate from the group and being
Being
in the.
Mr. Exposition.
Well, I don't mind. He's smart. He's gonna be the exposition guy. But I'm just tired of him being in a nickel core. Have him get to the digital war array and meet up with the group. Like
Hmm.
I'm tired of that. Okay.
Like it feels like he's been in the internet for like for about as long as a modern kid these days.
Yeah, like I don't get the point of him not being with the group. Well, like the first couple, so I guess it kind of makes sense. But I feel like he should be with the group now.
Mm, yeah,
But watch, he's not gonna join the group next week. I feel like he's gonna be the last one to join the group.
maybe.
Please, guys, get him to join the group. I'm not asking for a whole lot here. At least I don't think I am.
I almost
But
think like makes you almost think like the writers just don't like he's like him and Tentalman all that much.
I don't get why. Like, aren't they like very popular characters within the fandom?
They are, and yet they've been so separated, and we haven't really got any backstory for them, and it's just been like,
Yeah,
eh.
I'm so upset they didn't flashback to how Izumi and Tentamon meet. I'm hoping they were saving that for maybe uh Tentamon's like ultimate Digivolution.
Maybe, and yeah, wonder if they're even going to cover his backstory about him being between him and his parents.
Oh yeah, yeah. I won't.
Not to spoil it
Yeah,
yet, but
I know.
but it's such a good but it's such a good story too that I
Yeah,
hope
it is.
they do work it in.
Like, I feel like they're not gonna with like how they've been treating stuff in the show. Like, I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but like, I want them to cover it, but like, I don't know. I guess it depends how they handle the future arcs and if they're gonna have a like big important arc for the human war. If
Hmm.
if not, then I don't see them doing it. But oh,
They better do it. Jesus.
oh yeah, or else like the using me fangirls and fanboys are gonna be all over your backs, toy. But yeah, look to know like easy me like it just makes me like I want to love this show. I don't hate the show. I
Hmm.
don't love it. I guess man, I don't know. I'm at this point. I'm just like I'm just
We can see that it has all the tools there. It's just like the plot so far has been kind of all over the place.
yeah, and it sucks because it kind of breaks my heart too. I love Digimon. Like even the nice popular like shows like Frontier and Savers. You know.
And those shows are fine on their own. It's this show that's really relying almost too much on nostalgia,
Yeah,
which was also a problem of Saber of what was it Cross Wars second half.
I don't know what you're talking about. That does not exist. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hmm. Okay,
Sorry, I'm.
but yeah, right. Point is, nostalgia kind of kills.
Yeah, and that's what I've been thinking about. Is like my attachment to the original series and Digimon as a whole. Is that what's holding me back from enjoying this?
I think I think it's not it's only a problem because they're also kind of making a problem because they're relying on people who have seen the original series to like be able to enjoy this even without the proper context for a new series. Like this episode, we already know that how close Palma and Mimi are, and but they're not really giving them the 2020 versions as much attention. They're just like,
Yeah,
you remember how close these guys were, so why bother giving them that much time or
yeah,
any meaningful flashback?
yeah. If you've never like seen the original, you wouldn't care. You'd be like, you know, and like I said, I really want to recommend this Super E, but I don't know. I feel like she'd be the kind of person to just be annoyed at the first couple of episodes and give up, So, but it's so sad because this has the potential to introduce the franchise to new fans because Digimon has kind of been like out of it for a while, you know.
Hmm.
Hate to kind of popular compare it to another Mon series, but let's be real, it isn't as popular as Pokemon, and you know, like this reboot, while it wouldn't make it, you know, as popular or even more popular than Pokemon, it would. I think it had the potential to like boost Digimon's popularity. So
Yeah, I think another thing is that Pokemon, even if you haven't like seen any of the previous series, some you can I haven't watched Pokemon in a long time, but
yeah,
I think I could probably watch like say Ultra Sun and I'd be okay with it because it's still good on its own as a standalone.
yeah, and
And
this,
this is not a strong standalone. You kind of need to have like a little bit of knowledge of the previous series in order to
yeah,
appreciate even a little bit of
and
it.
that hasn't been the case with some exceptions. Like you could watch like Tamers or Frontier or like Data Squad, fine on their own, you
Even
know.
Zero Two a little bit, and that's a direct sequel.
Yeah, and Dude does do a good job at introducing things for new players, not new fans.
Hmm.
So, but oh yeah, to kind of get more my cons, like we've been talking about this, I don't feel like a, a whole lot happened. Stuff just sort of happens, you know.
Yeah, it's almost borderline filler with how this felt, and yet it was significant in
Yeah,
that
like how did you make an important character introduction
kind of boring.
episode filler and like guys, what are you doing? Like, I understand writing and making a show is difficult. I get that, you know. But that doesn't mean I have to like approve and like everything, you know. I don't know. I don't think I've ever been like heated about a show like this before.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, you should just shine saying rainbows, be like, this show is cool. I'm glad. You know, I tend to like most things, but I don't know. This has like struck in a core in me that
Mhm.
doesn't happen that often. So
Because it's just like it's also kind of repetitive and just like Mimi's episode felt. I think another thing is this Mimi episode felt a lot like last week's one with Ko- Koshiro. Like
you
they
think?
introduce the friend, they introduce the new partner Digimon, have a little adventure. They have like a moment where they get close, they digivolve, win the fight. That's it.
Uh, yeah, and I feel like they're gonna keep repeating this, you know,
Like
because
they introduce the new partner in
yeah,
Digimon, they get close, digivolve, boom, battle, done.
because
Maybe take
that's
maybe
how
fight Okamon again.
that's how next episode looks like, and that kind of brings me to like my final con, and this is gonna be semi spoilers if you haven't seen the preview for next week's episode, but we didn't get a Joe stinger, did we?
Nope.
The only reason we know Joe's gonna be in next week episode is because of preview, and I found that weird. We got a Mimi stinger, right?
Yeah, and I think Joe only had like a brief cameo at the campsite.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They think he
But
did.
that's it. He just like was like giving some orders and like telling the kids how to do stuff, and that's it. Not really introduction or anything.
Yeah, it's like I mean, do you think that they should have like given us a Joe stinger? Oh, do you think it's not gonna matter in the grand scheme of things with how the show's handling like
Well,
characters and stuff?
the Mimi stinger didn't really help Mimi this week,
Yeah.
so I think it's relevant at this. I think it's relevant
Yeah, I still would have been nice, and it feels like okay, you're only gonna do a stinger for Mimi. What's the point then?
Mhm.
If you ain't gonna do stingers for the rest of the episodes, what was the point of having that stinger? You know.
Mhm.
So yeah, those are my cons. Oh boy. Like, I don't know if I like or dislike the show.